I was on an airplane the other night, and something very upsetting happened. I was sitting beside a couple who were newly married. They told me they'd been married for 9 months. And a couple rows ahead and across the aisle on this flight was a screaming kid. Not a baby, not a newborn baby. The kid looked about 5 or 6 years old. It was a girl, and she was having this fight with her mother the whole trip. And this girl was screaming, "You don't believe me! You don't believe, why don't you believe me?" And they're screaming, and I'm like, I believe you. So I really felt bad for the parents. I've been in situations before when my kids were younger, and they were crying on a plane, and it's very hard, it's embarrassing. You know you're making everybody feel uncomfortable, and you're disturbing them, and then you have to parent your child in front of the whole plane. So I felt sorry for the parents. So time goes on, screaming, crying. Finally we land. They get up, and I finally see them. I couldn't see them during the flight. And the mother takes the child and plops her down in the aisle and says to her, "Look straight ahead, don't turn around." And what did the girl say? "Don't slap me, don't slap me." And she says, "Turn around and stay." She goes, "But if I turn around, you'll slap me." She goes, "I'm not going to slap you." The whole plane was silent. I felt terrible. I felt sick inside. Clearly this kid has been slapped. I didn't feel sorry for the parents anymore. I felt sorry for the little girl. What was I going to do? I'm sure everybody on the plane was thinking, what do we do? Do we report this woman to the pilot, to the police? What do we do? No one did anything. I once asked my friend, who is a psychologist and an expert in child raising, what do you do when you are in the park and you clearly see people parenting poorly? Do you just like grasp onto the park bench and say nothing? And she told me most of the time she doesn't say anything, because you can really only say something to someone who's going to hear it. And usually when the parent is in a state of rage, they're not going to hear it. But she told me that if you do have an opening, what you should do is tell them, "You know what, I used to have a kid just like this. And this is what I did, and it really worked like a charm." Don't use a you message, use an I message. If you use a you message, they can get defensive. So I went to the baggage and I looked for them. The father seemed very sweet, and I thought I could maybe talk to him and offer him advice about, a book he should buy or someone he should consult. I couldn't find them. They weren't there. And I went home feeling sick. I had an opportunity to help and I didn't, but I really didn't have an opportunity. Have you ever been in this situation? Have you ever been in a grocery store and you see somebody parenting poorly? Did you do anything? What do you do? What's the right thing to do? Scroll down. Go to the comments. Tell me if it's ever happened to you. Do you think I did the right thing? The wrong thing? Let's hear from you. I'm Lori, Almost Live.